All right, all right, all right. Peace, blessings, and enough love to everyone. Do hope and trust that everyone is feeling good, feeling great, feeling fantastic, feeling fantabulous, feeling um, lovely, and all the above that you might be. Thank you all for joining us on this wonderful Tuesday for Deep Dive Globally Changing Lives. Um, do hope that everyone is okay and that you know everyone is fine. And so we are going to most definitely start with our signature tune, which is In It to Win It. And as you know, you have to be in it in order to win it, right? You have to, no matter what it is, you have to be in it in order to win it. And so Queen Loretta Shadari, which is our world-renowned international recording singing artist, and of course, she's going to actually sing in it to win it at this time. So stay tuned.
clear of the closing doors, please.
All right, wonderful. Thank you very much, Queen Loretta Shadari. And of course, as you know, the presentation that is dear to my heart, of course, it is none other than the mindset. And the mindset, of course, is very, very important, not only in business, but in our everyday lives. And so today, um, that special, wonderful, beautiful person will, of course, be looking at keys to dine empty. And that's part two, looking at enemies of maximizing your potential. Now, this wonderful person that will be speaking with us about the mindset is an international transformational speaker. She's a life coach, empowerment trainer, TV talk show host, published author of four books. Yes, I did say four. Four books. The editor and chief of Discovering You magazine. And it's a free magazine. So please subscribe. The link is in the chat. I mean, the link is on the flyer and in the description in the varied YouTube channel. So if you are on the YouTube channel, please take a look at the description. The link for that free magazine is right there. You can also, apply to put ads in there or to put a piece. You can actually get in contact with the person who is going to do the mindset, which of course is none other than our very own wonderful, fabulous, beautiful, lovely Queen Dr. Tunishai Ford. And so at this time, as I said, she'll be looking at keys to dine empty. And that is, of course, part two. Over to you, Queen Dr. Tunishai A. Ford.
I love the way you say my name, Dr. Derek, Tunishai. I love it. He pronounces every syllable. I love that. Thank you so much. You don't know how many people just murdered my name. I've been called everything from Tunisia to tuna fish to Tunishi.
Oh my goodness. That's
Yeah, that's
ugly.
on a good day. Welcome,
That's
everyone.
ugly.
Thank you so much. I really do appreciate all of you joining me today, whether it's evening or afternoon or morning, wherever you are. Thank you so much for joining us. Again, as I've always said to you before, my whole mission is about transformation, helping you to renew your minds so that you can be the best version of yourself while you are on this earth. I want to do a recap of my message that I did the last time that I spoke. And I want to thank Tony Coleman for stepping in for me last time. I think she did a fabulous job. I heard she did. And I think she was well received. So thank you so much, Tony, for speaking in my stead, in my absence. So again, I'm going to do a recap of my message, which was keys to dying empty, choosing to walk in your purpose by maximizing your potential. And part two is going to be, the enemies that hinder us from dying empty, the enemies that hinder us from maximizing our potential. But let me do a recap of what I did last time. I talked about what does it mean to maximize your potential. Maximizing your potential involves fully releasing all of your God-given gifts, talents, and potential into the world before you die. It's so important that we think about when we leave this earth, how are we going to leave it? That's why it's so important. You want to die empty. You want to die unused. You want to die, make sure that everything you have on the inside of you is used up. This means consistently identifying and developing your inner resources, overcoming self-imposed limitations and fears, and living a life of purpose to ensure you leave nothing unexpressed or unrealized when you leave this world. And then I talked about what does it mean to die empty. To die empty means to die finished and not prematurely. And when I say prematurely, I'm not talking about how long you live. I'm talking about the quality of life that you have. So prematurely doesn't mean how long you live. It means when you're on this earth, whether God gives you 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 50 years, what are you doing with your life? What are you doing with your life? And we always talked about avoiding the graveyard's wealth. And I also mentioned to you all that the graveyard is the richest place in the world. So much untapped potential. People who God has called to write novels and books, they haven't written them. People who have been called to start businesses and to start missions, they haven't done it. Right now, the graveyard contains all of those things that they potentially wanted to do or should have done while they were on this earth. So that's what it means to die empty. That's what it means to die finished, not prematurely, and to avoid the graveyard's wealth. I also talked about the keys, the key principle to dying empty. We talked about identifying and releasing your God-given gifts. Releasing, what does it mean to release? That means to share it, to identify and release your God-given potential. The other one, number 2, for keys to principle to dying empty, is to overcome self-imposed limitations, breaking through the fears, inhibitions, and self-doubt that prevent you from achieving your full potential. Number 3, we talked about, is to cultivate and feed your potential. Your potential is like a plant or a flower. You have to feed it. You have to cultivate it. You have to make sure that when you are having these moments where you think about what you want to do with your life, you have to do everything you need to do to make sure that that gift, that potential is cultivated. So number 3 is to cultivate and feed your potential. Number 4, embrace your uniqueness. What does that mean, to embrace your uniqueness? That means to refuse to be ordinary. God did not make anything mediocre. So you are designed to be distinctive, special, and irreplaceable. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, you are irreplaceable. So in other words, number 4, to embrace your uniqueness. And the last one I shared with you all was to live with purpose. Every day you wake up, you should be doing something that's going to take you closer to what God has called you to do. Move forward into your destiny and stay focused on your goals and refiring your passion for life. Now, you all know that even though our desire may be to die empty and maximize our potential, understand there are over 8 billion people in the world right now, over 8 billion. And I'm pretty sure that you will all agree with me that all 8 billion people, of course, are not trying to die empty. They're not working on maximizing their potential. But I hope that I will encourage you all today to look at where you are in your own life. Look at where you're going and making sure that you are not caught up in the traps that hinder us from reaching our potential. This is the reason why I want to talk about the enemies that hinder us from reaching our potential and making sure that we die empty. So we want to talk about this. There are 15 altogether, but because of time, and we have another speaker, I'm going to cover 5 today, which is part 2, and we'll cover the other ones in the other weeks to come. So the first one I want to share with you all today, the first enemy that will hinder you from maximizing your potential and dying empty is disobedience. Now, when I share these with you, by no means, this is nothing new that I'm teaching you, but I'm giving it to you in a different perspective. I want you to look at this in a different perspective. So everything I'm going to share, you've heard it before, but you may not have heard me share it like this. We're talking about, again, dying empty. We're talking about the enemies that hinder us from reaching and maximizing our potential. So number 1 is disobedience. Disobedience. The first form of disobedience happened in biblical day in the Garden of Eden. You know about Adam and Eve. They're the first one. God gave them a command not to eat of the tree of life, and they did it anyway. They were deceived by Satan, or they were deceived by a snake. You call him Satan or whatever you want to call it, but they were deceived. And God told them that the day that you eat of this fruit, of this tree, you will die. Therefore, Adam and Eve never had an opportunity to fulfill their potential. They died full. They did not die empty. You may say, well, Dr. T, they lived to be into their 900s. I know that, but God told them that he wanted to give them eternal life. They were never supposed to die. How many of you know right now there are people, and maybe we've even been guilty of that, where we've done something out of disobedience, and so it got us on the wrong track. We got off track, and we found ourselves struggling, trying to get back to that place where we know we was called to be. How many of you know people like that, where you know that they are disobedient, you know that they have a great calling on their lives, but they make choices that hinder them from thriving, from striving, and you don't want to stay out of that arena? So again, one of the number one reasons why people die full and they do not maximize their potential is disobedience. You cannot operate in disobedience and maximize your potential. Therefore, you want to make sure that you stay out of the arena of being disobedient. Number one, if you're taking notes, being disobedient. Number two, I'm not going to be before you long. Number two, sin. Sin. That's what I said. I said sin. You may say, well, Dr. T, what's the difference between sin and disobedience? Although sin and disobedience are very similar, sin is worse because it's a total rebellion against the known will of God. It's a declaration of independence from God. In other words, it's like you make a conscious decision to do things that you know that's out of the will of God. You know that it's not God's will. It's out of his principles. You have spiritual principles and you have natural principles. When you do things that would turn God's face away from you, in other words, you are no longer in relationship with him. How many of you all know that? We think about all kinds of things in the world that are evil, that are sinful, human trafficking, prostitution, people on drugs, gambling, people who are rapists, murderers. Those are people who will never, ever fulfill their potential. They may be wealthy. They may simply be doing very well, but you can understand that they are not operating in God's will. They are totally out of the will of God. Therefore, when they go to the grave, their grave will be full of the potential that God has placed in them. Why? Because they lived a life of sin. So number one is disobedience. And number two is sin. When we totally turn our back and we disconnect from our life source, which is God. Number two, sin. Number three, fear. Fear. And we all know that fear is false evidence that appears real. False evidence that appears real. Now, you've already heard that before. I understand that. But fear is when you dwell on everything that could possibly go wrong instead of what could possibly go right. If you are fearful and trying, you will never know what you are capable of doing and achieving. How many of you have had situations where in your mind, you built up a scenario about how something was going to turn out? I'm guilty of that. In fact, I had that happen to me just a few days ago. There was a situation that I was in where I had opportunities to spend some time with my sister, my older sister, and she's the kind of person, she's really bougie and everything, and she likes things to be just right. There's nothing wrong with that. That's her personality. But I felt very uncomfortable in telling her that I would not be able to do this special event with her because in my mind, all I could do was hear her trying to convince me to do it, making me feel guilty about not doing it, maybe hearing her fuss at me and give me all kinds of reasons why I should not be disappointing her. But when I did it, I told myself, listen, you don't even know how it's going to turn out. So let me go ahead and face that fear and take that challenge. And lo and behold, when I told my sister and my niece that I would not be able to partake of that, it wasn't that way at all. It wasn't any argument. Nobody appeared to be disappointed. Nothing like that. That might be a bad example, but I'm trying to show you all that oftentimes that when we're called to do something, our biggest enemy is fear, because we've already made it out. We as human beings, we have a tendency to look at the negative before we see the positive. And that's something that we have to teach ourselves. Remember, you are what you think you are. Thoughts are things and things are thoughts. So if you think that you're going to fail, even though you may not fail, you'll never make an effort to try and do it. I've always said this to people, if you don't try, you don't do. And if you don't do, then why are you on this earth? And fear is the number 3 reason why a lot of people do not go forth and do what God has called them to do. They build up this shield and they already have a scenario that will probably never come to fruition, but they become stagnated. And I'm pretty sure everyone on this webinar at some point in their lives may have made a choice not to do something that they know that's in their heart to do. If they're burning with the passion to do it, but they've already told themselves, that's too big for me. Maybe I just don't qualify. They may not like me. There's somebody that can do it better. I'm not educated enough. They build all this up in their minds and they find themselves staying away from that very thing that God has ordained them to do. Look at Moses. Look at Moses. He went on to tell God how he was not the best man for the job. Oh, God, I stutter. Oh, they're not going to listen to me. I'm too old. Send someone else. But what did God do? God asked him, he said, what do you have in your hand? Remember that speech I talked about? What do you have in your hand? Who is with you? If I'm for you, who could be against you? You can do all things through Christ that strengthens you. So take away the fear factor. If God has given you something to do, he's going to give you everything you need to do it. So right now, but you have to make up in your mind, although you may feel fearful, it doesn't mean you stop trying. Walk through that fear. Fight through that fear. Don't allow fear to overtake you and hinder you from doing what God has called you to do. Do not allow this particular enemy to win. Again, your goal is to die empty. Your goal is to maximize your potential. So kick fear out the way and begin to walk in those things that God has ordained you to do. And number 4, discouragement. Discouragement. Discouragement comes because of a lack of patience and temperance. It comes because you have the skill sets. You may even have the experience. But because something doesn't happen the way you want it to happen, when you want it to happen, you become discouraged. How many of you are guilty of that? How many of you know that discouragement comes when things don't always happen the way you want them to happen? I know I've been there, and I'm pretty sure that many of you have been there. You set out to do something. It may be a job, or maybe it might be an opportunity that you've been trying to pursue. Maybe it's some type of a degree, whatever it may be, but doors did not open the way you wanted them to open. Things did not turn out the way you wanted to, but instead of you hanging on in there, instead of you having patience, because sometimes it's not even about who you are, it's about what God is trying to work out in you. Maybe it's not time. Maybe it's not your season, but you get discouraged anyway. I know people, and I'm pretty sure that Queen Tony would tell you this. Tony is an author, and she's written many, many books, and she's always told me the story, and she'll probably share it with you, how she even sent her manuscripts to different publishers. They were all about sci-fi. When she sent them, maybe at the time, people that were reading those kind of books, that's not what they wanted to publish. But I am pretty sure if she tried now, she would probably get those books published. But at the time, she sent it out to hundreds, maybe even thousands of different publishers, but it didn't happen for her. How many of you have been there where you tried to pursue something that you know that God has called you to do, but it just didn't happen? Again, it's not about who you are or your abilities. It's about the timing oftentimes. God is saying to you, maybe you're not ready to walk into that arena. Maybe you're not equipped yet. Let me work some things out of you. Let me put patience in you. Let me put temperance in you. Let me begin to make you harden so that when things happen, you can take care of them. A lot of times, if you're really a very, very fragile person, when things happen, you'll find yourself falling apart. So God is trying to build character. He's trying to build patience in you. He's trying to make you the best person you can be character-wise, so that when you go out, when he sends you out and raises you up, you won't fall. You won't falter. Because there's so many people out there who surely, and what happens? They fall. They get in trouble and things don't pan out. and then they find themselves leaving this earth prematurely. They find themselves going to their grave empty. Why? Because they became discouraged because things did not happen the way they wanted to. And oftentimes, if you get out there beforehand, if you go out there beforehand, let's say that happens that you do things in the natural, and things do happen for you, but you were not ready. I remember years ago, I used to attend a church, and I was trying to pursue at the time, really trying to become a speaker. I had just got my first book came out, and I went to my pastor, and I was telling him all the wonderful things I wanted to do. And he said a very profound thing that I want to share with you. He said, Tunishai, he said, stop trying to knock the doors down. He said, stop trying to do that. He said, let God open them. So right now, if you're feeling discouraged, if it's something that you want to do with your life, don't try to knock the door down. Don't try to knock in the wall. Let God open the door in his perfect timing, because again, he's trying to work something out. He's trying to build you up and equip you for what he has called you to do. So again, number 4 is a number 4 enemy for dying empty and dying with not maximizing your potential. So you want to stay out of that arena. Be patient, operate in temperance, and just seek God and allow him to walk in your greatness in the assigned season. So number 4, discouragement. And the last one that I want to share with you today is procrastination. Procrastination, if you're taking notes. Procrastination is delaying an action until a later time, and this destroys potential. It's delaying an action until a later time, which destroys potential. Procrastination oftentimes develops discouragement. I believe that procrastination and discouragement are cousins. They're very close. Why? Because when you become discouraged, when things don't happen the way you want to, you find yourself putting things off. And then you allow a distraction to come in, and you find yourself being busy doing everything else what you're supposed to be doing. That's why they call it procrastination. If you wait for the perfect condition, you will never get anything done. Procrastination will eat away at the core of your time and motivation. And then you'll get to a place where you'll no longer have a desire to do anything. How many of you have ever been there when you know there's something you should be doing? There's a goal that you have. Maybe you want to go back to school, and you have not filled out the application to go to school. And you know you decide, maybe you want to get a master's degree or doctorate degree, or maybe it's an undergrad degree. And you really know it's in your heart to do it, but you build up that fear, and things just don't work out the way you want to, maybe financially, maybe with family matters, but it's still you moving forward and trying to move forward and towards that goal. You keep putting it off, you keep putting it off, and you keep putting it off. What happens? You find yourself going in another direction, and then you find yourself not going to school at all. There are many of you right now, and I know who you are on this line right now, my buddy, and I know I'm talking about Tony a lot, but I know there are times when she talked about going back to school, and she'll share that with you, when she wanted to go back to school, but she put it off and put it off and put it off, and then it got to a place where the time was not there. So if you're in a place right now where you want to write a book or do something that you think is greater than yourself, look at that thing. Stop procrastinating. Take one step at a time and just try to tackle it. Don't get discouraged. Remember, everything has its seasons. But while you're in your season, begin to prepare. Preparation is not lost time. Work at trying to do these things. Stop procrastinating. Stop putting things off, because you'll get to a place where you'll no longer desire to do it, and you don't want to be there. So let me do a recap of the 5 enemies that I shared today of maximizing your potential and dying empty. The number 1, disobedience. Number 2, sin. Number 3, fear. Number 4, discouragement. And number 5, procrastination. Stay out of these arenas. If you truly want to die empty, if you truly want to maximize your potential, stay out of the area of disobedience. Stay out of the area of sin. Don't allow fear to overtake you. Don't allow discouragement to rule you. And don't get into the area of procrastinating and putting things off till you get to a place where you don't desire to do it all. When you stay away from those areas, you'll be well on your way to dying empty and maximizing your potential. I'm Dr. T, and thank you so much for allowing me to share. Thank you.
All right. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you very much, um, Queen Dr. T. That was just simply awesome. Awesome, awesome. I thank you very, very, very much. And of course, I know that First Lady Queen Dr. Benny definitely want to say something on that one.
Hey, oops, unmute. Great. As you all know, greetings. Yes. Welcome to this amazing webinar. Thank you so much, King Dr. Derek, for giving me this opportunity to voice out my opinion when it comes to the 5 enemies. Before I proceed, I want to take this special moment to really, really thank our Heavenly Father for bringing each and everyone this evening, morning, or afternoon. It all depends upon your location. God, there is no one like our Heavenly Father. We don't see him, but we know he exists in the name of Jesus. For Queen Dr. T, on the behalf of all of us, I would like to extend our sincere appreciation to Dr. T for demonstrating an extraordinary mindset and unwavering commitment to excellence. Your leadership and vision continue to inspire all of us. Thank you so much, and we really, really love you. Now, when it comes to this your topic, this your 5 enemy, you make us to understand about or disobedient, that Adam and Eve, they really disobeyed our Heavenly Father. Sure, they sure did. Despite the fact that they disobeyed, but a lot of us now, we are disobeying our elders, our parents, our instructors. Some of the students are very stubborn that they don't want to do their homework, knowing that in this country called America, America has given textbooks free, everything for free. But the students, especially in the public school, will not. They don't want to do their homework. And some of them say, oh, maybe, oh, the parents supposed to help. Yes, some of the parents are single, just like myself. I know single parents, no matter what, they're supposed to encourage their students, their children, to do their homework. But the parents, they're giving nonsense excuses, which it doesn't make sense to me. As you make us to understand, sin in a biblical context is defined as the action, the thoughts, or the attitude that goes against God. A lot of people, we are going against God like crazy, but God has given us free will, isn't it, Dr. T? For
Yes.
God say, don't do this. But if you disobey him, it is your problem. And a lot of people, please forgive me, I know most of the time I always say 90%. Oh, okay, I'm just going to give 80% this time. When it comes to fear, to tell the truth, I am afraid of driving. This is me. I am afraid of driving, especially when it's rainy and during snow and driving down the hill. I am seriously afraid, but I pray that one day I'll be okay, right? I remember I used to drive during when I was teaching in Oxon Hill High School. So when it's snow time, Dr. T, everybody is just driving and passing by. I'm just like this. So, but I know that one day I will try not to be afraid anymore. Like I stated before, on the behalf of all of us, please forgive me if I say all of us. We really appreciate your commitment towards this amazing company, and again towards this our forum or deep dive. You have been committed a lot, and we know that you will be back next week to continue with this amazing topic. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Benny.
All right. Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you very much, Queen First Lady Dr. Benny. Thank you very much. I know I saw Queen Pastor Tony holding up her hand. And I see you. I see you. This platform is very clean, so I can see. But just give me a few with a question that is actually coming from our YouTube viewer. Queen Debbie McCormick is over there in YouTube, and so she's asking this question um, from Queen Debbie McCormick. How do you know in advance to minimize fear?
Remember, fear is false evidence appearing real. It's not about, I think that fear in a way can be healthy because it will keep you from going to different areas. It's like a stop sign, it's a warning. But I'm talking about the kind of fear that will hinder you from going forth and doing what God has called you to do. So how you minimize that is to change your thought pattern. In other words, instead of saying, in other words, it's like, who told you that? Ask yourself, when you think about putting those roadblocks in your life, ask yourself a question. Who told you this was going to be difficult? Who told you that you were going to fail? Because God says that you can do all things through Christ. There's nothing too hard when he's in the mix. So it's a mind thing. So when those thoughts come through your head, that's where it starts. The fear starts here before it gets here. So when you can change this and change your mouth and change your confession and your thoughts, that minimizes the fear factor. But again, fear can be something healthy to hinder you from going into the wrong direction, but not to the point where it becomes stagnating. When you're talking about trying to achieve a goal. So again, the answer to the question is to start with the thoughts. When you start having the negative thoughts, ask yourself the question, who told you that? Oh, I'm not educated enough. Well, who told you that? Then get educated enough. If you want to go out and do something, then read a book. Get with people who are doing the same thing you're doing. If you're trying to I don't know what it might be. You might want to just start a business. Then who told you couldn't be a business person? Who told you that? What voices are you listening to? So if you want to minimize the fear factor in advance, change your thoughts, change your confession, because that's where it starts. That's where it starts. That's where it starts.
Wonderful. And so that is where the mindset comes in, because it all depends on your mindset. Two persons looking at a glass that is half with water. One of them is going to say it's half full, and one of them is going to say it's half empty. So yes, thank you very much, Queen Dr. T. That was awesome. Who told you that? Which voice are you listening to? Are you listening to the pessimistical voice? Are you listening to the optimistical voice? Which voice are you listening to? Awesome. Awesome. Over to you, Queen Pastor Tony.
Praise God. Excellent presentation. And yeah, while you were going down the 5 hindrances or enemies of living or dying empty, I could relate to all of them. I could remember situations for every last one. And from time to time, sometimes One of those hindrances will creep up, especially fear and procrastination. And I think procrastination, it can happen because of fear,
Yeah.
or because of allowing the side detours or distractions, to come about. And excellent, excellent, excellent. And so it's just a reminder of what we have to continue to work on and to look out for. Okay. Thank you, Dr. T.
Thank you. Thank you, Tony.
All right, all right. Wonderful. Thank you very much, Queen Pastor Tony. Really appreciate. And Queen Debbie says thank you so very much. Really appreciate. All right, so thank you very much. And we are going to move into part two, the second presentation. And listen, before I go to the second presentation, you and I have to realize that we are in a war. We are in a war. Okay, so we have enemies. And unfortunately, as I listen to Queen Dr. T, one of the major enemies in our lives is ourselves. Anyway, I just started to put in that one. All right, wonderful. All right. How do we get Queen Dr. T? How we get rid of self? That's my question. That's my
Hey,
question now. How do we get rid of
get a
self?
divorce, Dr. Derek. Divorce yourself. Get a divorce. That's the only
That's our
time it'll be
greatest enemy.
allowed.
Listen, it's our greatest enemy, you know. So how do we get rid of self?
By filling yourself, and I'm not trying to be all deep and spooky, but the more we read God's word and have a relationship with him and become more like him, the more self dies and the more he rises. That's it. And sometimes it
Powerful.
takes a lifetime to do it. It's not going to be an overnight. It didn't take overnight for you to get to where you are. So it may not take
Hmm.
overnight for you to change. But as long as you're on the path to change, taking one step at a time and putting him first, you'll get there. You'll get there.
Powerful, 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 powerful. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Queen Dr. T. Really appreciate it. All right. So moving right along as we get now into the next presentation. And of course, we have none other than cyber security. From once you're online, from once you want to go online, from once you are online, from once you're going online, from once you're involved in any activity online, then you're going to need some online protection. And that is where cyber security comes to full play. And so with us today is no stranger to us, none other than our own First Lady, Queen Dr. Benny. She is an entrepreneur herself. She's an international speaker. And of course, she has her doctorate, of course, in cyber security. That's what she do. That's what she do. That is what she do. And so she's not a if, a but, or a maybe type of person. If she don't know, she'll tell you that she don't know, and she'll go do her research and come back with that information. So without any further ado, it is none other than our very own First Lady, Queen Dr. Benny. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, King Dr. Derek, for this amazing opportunity. As we all know, I know I've been talking about KYC, right, Dr. T? I've been talking about KYC. So this time is how the KYC process helps to prevent fraud. More, I do have a lot, but I'm going to present some of it just like you do. And then I'll come back next week for more. Um, The know your customer process is very important, or sometimes they say vital, right? It is an important part of any financial and business operation, which is being designed in order to verify your identity, the identity of the client, and assess the potential risk of illegal intention. As you all know, things are happening not only in this country, but all over the world. People are doing illegal stuff in order to hurt us, to hurt some of us. So by requiring customers to provide valid identification document and verifying their authenticity, organizations, I said that right, organizations, they can ensure they are dealing with the right individuals or legitimate entity. Now, KYC helps to prevent fraud in several ways, right? I'm going to list them, but if you don't mind, I am going to use my PowerPoint. But just to list some of it is like, what are the key ways to prevent fraud? The first thing is like the identification, or to identify the verification, to dictate of suspicious activities. And then we talk about risk assessment, and as well as compliance. So if you guys don't mind, I am going to share my screen, and I think I will need the help of our Dr. Derek. I'm gonna try again. Share your screen. Dr. T, I'm gonna try.
Click on share.
Yes, please. I did.
Right. And then you click on entire window. Click on the window that is below, and then click share.
Okay, so what I have here is window and then entire screen. Entire
screen. Click on entire screen.
First, okay?
Yes, first.
Thank you.
Then a window comes up.
Mm-hmm.
Then you click on that. Then you click on share.
Do you see that? Dr. T, you see it?
No. I don't see it.
Yes, we're seeing you. We were seeing it. Go to your PowerPoint.
This is my PowerPoint, sir.
Yes, go to your PowerPoint.
Yes. I have it here. I've always have problem with this. Sharing. Can you see?
No, you didn't click on, you didn't click on entire screen.
I have always have problem with this. Okay, something is wrong. Okay, great. Share.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I see it.
That's it.
I see
So
it.
click on.
Man, thank
click
you.
on the little thing beside the minus sign. Go down to minus sign and click on the one to the left.
Can you see now?
No,
Yeah, I can see it. It's not
we
real
see
large, but I can see it.
we see the one. We see the one like you're editing it.
Can you see table of content?
I see
We
an overview.
Perfect.
The
we
first
see the
one.
one. We see the one where you edit, where you can edit with the
The
preview on the
biometrics.
left hand side. With the preview on the left hand side.
Right.
So which means you did not choose entire screen.
I sure did. Okay, let me stop sharing
So
and
close
get
it.
out.
Close the PowerPoint. I mean, close the sharing, the presenting of the PowerPoint.
Damn it. Can I just stop end the show? Great. Oh man, this is share screen, entire screen, Windows, this and that. Do you see Dr. T?
I see KYC processing banking.
Perfect. Okay, that's it. Although I have to scroll up. So number one on overview. You can see overview, right?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, hold on. Now I am going to increase this to, I have 61%.
No. That's not how you do it. You click on the thing beside the minus sign.
Dr. Derek, I've been trying. When I click this, you see this one?
Yeah.
Like the slideshow, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you see now?
All right. That means you did not choose entire screen.
I did.
And did you click the one below?
Yes,
How
I
many
did.
options you had below?
Some problem here.
How many options you had below?
Well, right now,
Entire
my screen
screen.
is too big now, so I have to. Stop sharing. Let me stop sharing. I think I was not been doing this.
Yeah, Dr. Benny. Dr. Benny.
Yes,
Dr. Benny.
I'm here.
When you click on share screen, you have three options.
Yes.
Window, entire screen. Did you click on entire screen?
I sure did. I did.
Then did you see something below entire screen?
Let me get out again, Dr. Derek. I am trying to get out of this task manager in order to, because my screen is too big that I don't see anything at the moment. Yeah. I have to.
What is task manager?
This task manager is telling me what to do. Hold on 1 second, please. Okay, so what I have right now on my screen, it said lock, switch user, sign out, or task manager, or cancel. So I have to choose one and get
No,
out.
but cancel.
Yes,
Cancel
even
that.
I did.
And what happened?
I'm just seeing the big screen, and it's nothing is working for me here.
Is it a Windows computer?
It's the Windows.
Okay. So go to your, did you come out of the presentation?
Yes,
All right. So what you're going to do now, just click on share screen. Did you come out of the task manager?
I did.
All right. Click
Okay,
on share screen.
share screen. Okay, let me explain
Then
what I have here. And when
yes.
I click on share screen, I see Microsoft Edge tab, Windows, and then entire screen.
Right. So click on entire screen.
Okay, I am clicking. I did.
Then tell me what you see below entire
So
screen.
when I click the entire screen, I see us here. I see us as well as um, I see
As
the
well as
entire
what?
screen, and then it says also share the system audio.
Yeah, that is if you have audio on your PowerPoint. But what no above that, between entire screen and the share audio, what you see in between?
Dr. Derek, what I see us.
Hmm.
That's all. That's what I see.
That's it.
Yes.
Click on us.
When I click on us now, I can see the share button because at first,
Right.
uh-huh,
So click on the share button now.
I
Right.
did.
So at the bottom now, go to your PowerPoint. Click on your PowerPoint on your toolbar, your taskbar at the bottom.
Yes.
Click on the little thing now. You have to push it up there.
The one that says slideshow, correct?
Yes, yes. Hmm.
Okay, that's what I did, man.
There you go. See there? That's how it will look
Okay, thank
for
you.
us. So I full up the screen.
Okay,
Okay,
this
though.
is for Queen Debbie. Thank you. All
Hmm.
right. So, and this is an overview, like protecting the financial transaction and personal data has never been more crucial in today's digital world. Imposter, as you all know, continuously adapt, finding new ways to exploit vulnerabilities, right? So, do the system designed to stop them? So, one of the most effective protection is they know your customers, right? The process, which will now verify the identity to prevent fraud before it happens. So, more than just a governing requirement, KYC strengthen the trust between businesses and their customers, ensuring what? Secure financial interaction. So, this item explore how, or should I say this item, right? How this KYC processes now actively dictates and prevent what? Fraudulent activities, strengthening the security of both what? Businesses and individuals like you and I in an increasingly digital economy. So what is it? I know we have been talking about what KYC is all about. The process. What is the process of this? It is very important, right? It is an important security measure that financial institution and businesses use to verify the customer's identity. Its primary goal is to what? Confirm that individuals and entities engaging in financial transaction, they are legitimate. Oh yes. Now reducing the risk of fraud. This involves collecting and verifying the key identification documents, such as what? Government issue ID, utility bills, utility bills, and increasingly biometrics data. So what is it? What is that biometrics data? It's defined as a unique physical and behavioral characteristics used for identification and verification. When they identify, they have to verify who you are, right? This include what? Fingerprint, facial scan, voice recognition, and iris scans. So KYC process begins with what? Gathering basic customer information. Customers like you and I, our information, which is then cross-checked against the reliable data sources to ensure accuracy, right? Beyond the initial verification, businesses also conduct ongoing monitoring to detect suspicious activities that could signal fraud. Now, by following the strict KYC protocol, companies like our company, the financial institution, government, like the federal government, the state government, health institution, everybody, right? All these companies. So beyond the initial verification, when they conduct this ongoing, sometimes they will monitor in order to detect suspicious activities, right? So by following these protocols, these companies now, they will, if we don't follow the protocols, we will not be able to minimize risk. So, but if companies, they follow the protocol, it will now minimize risk related to money laundering, identity theft, as you all know is happening every day, and financial crime, while maintaining the regulatory compliance. So tell me, how does this process work? The process works like in structures, multiple steps approach, which are being designed now to verify the customer's identity and minimize the particular risk of fraud, particularly preventing money laundering and other financial crimes. So by what it does is that it collects they will collect what? Your information, right? The process begins with gathering the essential details from individuals or businesses. Now, for individuals, this include what? Your name, your address, your date of birth, and contact information. For businesses, the process requires more comprehensive documentation, such as what? Corporate records, financial statement, to verify their legitimacy. This forms the foundation of customer identification program, the key component of KYC, which is know your customer. Identity verification. Once the information is being collected, now it must be authenticated. The financial institution use the various verification method, including the government database check, third-party validation services, and biometric authentication, such as what? The facial recognition and that fingerprinting scanning. Now, this step now, it will now ensures that customers are who they claim to be. And it now helps to identify any political exposed person whose higher risk status require additional scrutiny under KYC, identity verification regulation. Next, we talk about risk assessment. Now, after the verification, what happens next? Businesses now will assess the potential risk associated with each customer. Now, the process analyzes the factors such as transaction of the history, the geographical location, ties to high-risk industries, and association with the no politically exposed person in order to dictate the potential involvement in illegal activities. The risk assessment now, it will help now to identify the specific risk factors that could raise concern about money laundering. They keep talking about money laundering or other financial crimes. Now, A red flag may prompt further review and investigation in line with what Financial Crime Enforcement Network guideline. As we all know, when it comes to, there's always ongoing monitoring in most of our department when it comes to this risk assessment. Let me just say, with our institution, there are a lot of things that we have to do. There are a lot of steps that we have to follow when it comes to risk management framework. We do have 7 steps, but the last step is continuous monitoring. Here it says ongoing monitoring. So the KYC does not really stop at the onboarding stage. It continues, because if you don't continue to monitor these individuals, they will continue to play games. So continuous monitoring plays a vital role now in dictating suspicious behavior over time. If you don't, it will happen. And when it happens now, you will start blaming yourself. If you were not, you were supposed to hire someone to continue to do the continuous monitoring. There are jobs for continuous monitoring in my department. So advanced analytic tracks transaction pattern, flagging the inconsistency that could indicate illegal activities or attempt to bypass the regulation. Unusual activities, it triggers the alert for further investigation. Now, by ensuring ongoing compliance with the KYC regulation, the regulatory compliance, beyond the fraud prevention, KYC ensures businesses remain compliance with the local and international regulations, including the Patriot Act in the US and other financial crime regulation. Next, we do have KYC banking, right? There are a lot of banks all over the globe. They play a financial role in preventing the financial crime. And the know your customer process helps them now to verify the customer identity, to dictate the fraud and comply with the regulation. Now, as financial threat evolve, banks continuously refine their KYC practice to ensure the security and the transparency. So how does that work? How do they implement it? The first is the customer onboarding, right? Banks will verify customers' identity as they want to. Anytime you want to open your bank, an account, what happened? There are a lot of things that the banks, they need from you. So individual will submit government identity, proof of address, recent photograph, and business provide additional documents such as incorporation certificate for new businesses, right? And business license. So if you have a license, you're good. And financial statement. The reason is just to confirm the legitimacy, right? Next, you have enhanced due diligence. For high-risk clients or large transactions, banks will conduct enhanced due diligence. They perform deeper background check. Yeah. In order to verify the source of funds and sometimes interview the clients to assess the financial behavior. These measures will help the banks in order for them to identify the potential risk before approving any transaction. So next, we have continuous relationship monitoring. Banks don't or do not stop monitoring after the account opening. What they do is that they track the transaction pattern in real time using advanced software in order to dictate the activities. So if they identify suspicious behavior, what happened? Such as sudden large transfer, or connection to high-risk region, they will investigate further. Oh yes, they will. We do have periodic re-verification. Customers' information changes over time. How do they change? How do customer information change over time? Remember if you are single, right? Rose is single. Next time Rose get married, or Rose changes his or her address, they have to re-verify again to make sure everything is perfect, right? Then compliance and reporting. The regulatory bodies will require banks to follow the anti-money laundering and counter-terrorism financing law. When banks dictate suspicious activities, they must file a suspicious activity report with authorities contributing to the global effort in order to combat financial crime. So I believe I will end here. You have digital integration. As digital banking grows, banks increasingly rely on economic verification, remote document submission, and digital signature. This innovation streamlined the KYC process, allowing banks now to onboard customers globally while maintaining strong security measures. So I will continue next week. I will continue next week. So, in conclusion, by implementing these steps, the KYC process strengthens financial security in order to reduce the risk of money laundering and other financial crime, and foster what? The transparent and trustworthy financial ecosystem. As you all know, we do have ecosystem, right? Within our company. So by enforcing the strict KYC protocols, the banks will protect themselves now from any financial and reputational risk while ensuring what? A secure banking environment for customers. As financial crime tactics evolve, banks continuously enhance KYC measures in order to stay ahead of emerging threat. Thank you all for listening, and this is where I got my information from. I appreciate you all.
All right, all right. Wonderful. Thank you very much, First Lady Queen Dr. Benny. Awesome sauce. Thank you very much on the KYC. Really appreciate, and that was very, very, very detailed. Thank you very much. And anyone have any comment or anything that they want to express or never too clear on that KYC, on the presentation? Anyone? All right. I see Dr. T nodding our head. Go ahead.
Excellent presentation. A lot of information. I'm just so in awe of all the knowledge that you have. It's just a lot. But I appreciate you bringing it. I appreciate you bringing that. And like you said, this is the future. This is where we are right now. So it's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. And it's for our betterment. And I appreciate you bringing that to the forefront, because we need to take care of that, because we don't want to be victims of fraud and work so hard for your money, and you have all this money that you're trying to get from what we're doing right now with Mr. Ash, and then you lose it all because you don't have it protected. So I think that's wonderful. Thank you so much, Dr. Benny. I really do appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. T. The time will come that they're going to be asking us for verification. Mm-hmm. Just like as I stated before, when onboarding, when you go to the bank and you want to open an account, what do they want from you? Mm-hmm. Your identification,
ID, yeah.
your driver license, right? They want your social security. They want your address. They want to know where you live, and where you work as well. So if you cannot prove your identification, it's not going to work. And most of the time, they will ask for Verizon. Most of the cities, they always ask, because with Verizon, they know that it is real. Yes, those who have Verizon, they will know that it's real. So when you show your identification to them, it is really, really, really crucial. And when it comes to when you open that account now, remember, at your job, sometimes they will ask you for your bank information so that they can be sending you money, your paycheck. They either mail you the paycheck or they send it through the bank, right? Now, but in order to do that, companies want to know the real bank and the bank want to know that company as well. That is what they are looking for. Identification is very important and it's crucial. So when it comes to transaction, that's why they want to know about your company, because when you start receiving big money, they want to know where the money came from. And they will call and check from that company to know whether you are for real. How did you get this type of money? Now, it all also depends upon your job role. You can start making like $10. Then the bank knows about it. $10 an hour. In the long run now, you start making $30 or $40. So the bank want to know how. How come they're seeing more and more money into your account? They will want to verify. Verification is very important. Thank you so much, Queen Dr. T.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Queen Dr. T and Queen First Lady Dr. Benny. Anyone else have anything that they want to divulge or want to ask any question? Let me look into this chat here. Let me look on this chat if any question is in this chat. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thanks. All right, so it's a lot of thanks in the very chats. Okay, wonderful. All right, and so at this time we are going to start by asking Queen Dr. T to just give her closing thoughts.
Thank you, Dr. Derek. Our desire should be to walk in our purpose by maximizing our potential. But we first have to overcome self-imposed limitations by identifying the enemies that hinder us from becoming all that we can be. That's why we're on this earth. I've given you the definition of purpose. Purpose, a divine and deliberate mandate from God that glorifies Him, justifies why you are on this earth, and it serves mankind. And if we're not doing that, then we're not living. We're just existing. We're just taking up space. We're just here. And God never does anything just to be doing it. He always has a reason for it. Everything God does is purpose-driven. So, but in order for us to realize that there are enemies that we have to look at, we have to face them head on and find ourselves detouring away from those things. We're human. We're going to make mistakes. But let's not deliberately stay in areas and arenas that we know that are going to hinder us. I was just thinking about, right now, like one of the things I want to learn how to do, talking about fear, is I would like to learn how to ride a horse. And I'd like to learn how to swim. I don't know how to swim and I don't know how to ride a horse. And that might be something silly to all of you, but that's something I've always been afraid of. But I don't want to be afraid of a horse, because I know if other people can ride a horse, it's something that can be done. If other people know how to swim, it's something that can be done. So those are just examples, but there's so many things that many of you want to do with your lives, but you haven't done them because you have imposed limitations, self-imposed limitation. You've deliberately put boulders in front of your path that you cannot walk over. So get those boulders out of the way. Start here with your mind. Start telling yourself that you can do it, and ask yourself the question, who told you that? And if it's the wrong voice, dispel that voice and begin to listen to the right voice and begin to speak with your mouth what the right voice is saying up here. And when you do that, you're well on your way to maximizing your potential and giving the grave an empty shell. I'm Dr. T. Thank you.
All right, wonderful. Thank you very much, Queen Dr. T. Really appreciate. And also over to you, First Lady Queen Dr. Benny, for your closing thoughts.
Thank you so much. The KYC process, which is know your customers, the process, it is a cornerstone of the financial security and the fraud prevention. So by verifying the identities, monitoring transaction, and maintaining the compliance of the KYC in order to protect organization and customers from their financial crime. Ultimately, it will build what? The transparency. It will also build the trust and the integrity within the financial ecosystem. And also by implementing those steps, right? The KYC process now, it will strengthen the financial security. It will reduce the risk of the money laundering and other financial crime by fostering the transparent and the trustworthy of the financial ecosystem, as well as enforcing the KYC in order protocol, the banks to protect themselves from the financial and reputational risk while ensuring what? Ensuring a secure banking environment for customers. As financial crime, the tactics it also evolved the banks continuously in order to enhance the KYC measures in order to stay ahead of the emerging threat. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Queen Dr. Benny. Really appreciate. Really appreciate. And that was an awesome, awesome presentation from the two lovely ladies, Queen Dr. T and First Lady Queen Dr. Benny. We have learned a lot today. Really appreciate. So, as we bring the curtains down here on Deep Dive, globally changing lives, we just want to remind you that weekdays, Mondays through Fridays at 1 p.m., it's the Yvonne duo, that is Queen Dr. Yvonne and Queen Yvonne Finn, with One Global Movement. And of course, on Thursday morning, you also have O Passion, Singapore, Malaysia. And then back on Sunday with Dream Team at 12:45 p.m. Right? And then join us as we get into the Mindset Monday with Queen Miriam Edwards Clark. All right. And so, hey, wonderful. Right. And yes, that's me. Okay. And so thank you all very much for joining us once again. Remember to look into your email or during the course of this week or next week. Please do look at your email or pay a little attention to the email that is associated with your unpassive account, because that is where the information is going to drop for Victory with Ash. So please keep a keen eye on your emails, right, during the course of this week and next week. So thank you all very much for sharing the time with us. Really appreciate, really appreciate, really appreciate. And please, if you haven't subscribed to the varied YouTube channels that is flowing all over the place, just subscribe to them, whichever one comes your way. Thank you very much for another wonderful sharing of this wonderful moment, which is with Deep Dive Globally Changing Lives. And we see you again on Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Thank you all very much, especially those on YouTube. Thank you for joining us. Really appreciate, really appreciate, really appreciate. And see you on Thursday. We are going to linger a little longer on this side in meeting, but those on YouTube, take care and so long and bye for now.